Hello from Hollyland. Happy Moony Monday. How's everyone doing? This is my bipolar bear that my aunt gave me. It was an ornament, but I just cut the string off. It's my little mascot. I'm also going to make us little polar bear I got diagnosed stickers. Okay, so 2 years ago, yesterday was my diagnosis day. Holy cannoli. And it's my dad's birthday. So we were at dinner last night and obviously just, we didn't really talk about it at dinner. It was more in the car ride home. But yeah, a pendulum swing, I don't think really explains it. I'm just short circuiting, and that's just how it be right now because I can't keep track of what day it is, and that's fine and that's normal for me. But like, when I couldn't keep track of, I was like really losing days from like a mania and psychosis perspective. So there's a difference, but it's definitely, it's still part of it though. You're like, okay, this is like bipolar bear of me, like tendencies and such. Anyways, I've literally no fucking idea what I was saying. I feel like I'm on a different planet. I've been in Hollyland all day. I've been working on my website and I haven't wanted to get out of that land. So Hollyland. I just want to stay in the creation of what's coming through. I just want to stay in that as much as possible. When that feminine stream starts channeling in through you and you do not have the structures, the masculine structures to help support all of that, it doesn't really have anywhere to go. So it just is spilling everywhere. And over the last 2 years, I've been meticulously, I didn't know it at the time, but meticulously creating these cups for each one of these streams of consciousness that come into Hollyland. And being able to tap into the creativity that was just busted through the door with my diagnosis, to be able to tap into that now, just so much deeper and more than I ever, like when I had my vision, this was the version of me that went into the horizon line. And it's, these last 2 years, like I wanted so badly to immediately turn my pain into purpose. And when we go through an awakening and we go through something like that is the whole mission. So of course that's the first thing out of the gate, but you have to learn how to create with your own energy. You have to learn how to create peace from within. You have to learn so many things. And it's sitting in silence, and it's sitting alone, and it's sitting in just like intense retrospection. The whole shtick down here is to help humanity with your God-given gifts. So a lot of times when you do go through something really traumatic, like of course that's the first thing, because that's ultimately what your purpose is. Sometimes we just have to pump the brakes because we need to give ourselves time to be in our own energy, our own space, our cocoon, in order to heal. And oh my God, I mean, it's like Hollyland has gone everything from like, literally my apartment was like covered in like the sections to, like, that's what my dad walked into, like everything. I looked like I was in like a witch's laboratory mixed with, I don't even, a teenager who just discovered she was bipolar. Like, I had just like glitter everywhere, flowers everywhere. Like, I had gone so deeply into that feminine that I had been craving my whole life. And it's that innocence, and it's that little girl, and being able to tap into that, so seamlessly. I just didn't want to get out of it. I didn't want to grow up. It is so odd. It's like you are like literally watching yourself go through these different timelines, and parts work and shadow work, I don't think even like tip the iceberg on all of this. Like, it's all connected. It's all a lot. Be patient with yourself. So much more patient than you think. And also, like, you're so much farther than you think you are. Like, not that much time has passed. I'm like, I mean, I know why. But we're just, part of this is patience and faith and trust, and just taking the fool's journey again and again and again into, the arms of arms of your angel. Oh my God, am I gonna start singing? You literally, every time that fear, it always gets louder right before the jump. And you, especially after like years of, focus on healing, you can hear and you can feel her like fucking sprinting to the, like, you're forgetting about me. Like, I'm so scared. Why are you doing this? And you have to be like, come on. Come on. And you have to sit down with her. In the beginning of doing parts work, it is a battle, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to override your current system with its new belief system. And that's the integration. That's where the integration comes in. So within the shadow work, you get to uncover all of those, the scared little yous, all of the things that happen to you. And we don't talk nearly enough about, we say inner child, we say childhood trauma a lot, but we are not focusing, I feel like, on such a huge portion, which is teen part of child. And that's so much of where young girls are abused, in all of the ways, are, right in the beginning phases of puberty. And it's the dark energy forces know exactly what they're doing. That's what's coming in, and I'm just gonna say it. They know exactly what they're doing, so they it's of course it's that most vulnerable part of you, in time in your life, and we're just hit out the fucking gate of what to look like, and how to act, and how to behave, and do this, and don't have an opinion, and be quiet. And our voices have been silenced for forever and erased from history. So it's like this rite of passage we have to go through to feel all of those versions of you, all of those little girls, to like fully sit with each one of them and feel their pain. That's the way to integration. That's the way you start neutralizing the asset, is what just came in. And your current self then just starts to rewrite that code and rewrite that script, and you just have to hold that frequency. And your internal world changes before your external world does. There is a lot of dismantling that needs to happen in order for you to reset your energy and your frequency. So I know I talk about this all the time, but the old relationships that you know gotta go, they gotta go. Those people gotta go. Like, you gotta just, and you do not have to be perfect in any of this, but you know the people that you gotta get out. You know the boundaries you need to start setting, and it feels terrifying at first. But it gets a little bit easier because the universe just starts setting you up with like everything's a lesson, but you start to be able to see a bit of a pattern. A bit. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And then you're 2 years down the line and I'm like, holy shit, dude, I really did fucking do it. I really did. I really fucking cleaned fucking house. And my creativity, I've never had this before in my life. I've never had this much clarity. I've never had this much, I don't want to do anything else other than do holiday. Everything just revolves around it. It's the only thing I ever want to do. Because oh my God. I poured so much of myself into other people, you know, and other companies where I was just a number because I thought it was noble or something. And like, you know, fucking A, you guys. I love being a millennial, but like, fuck. Our parents grew up a certain way, and that's what got fed to us. And it's, you know, thank God we're awakening to it, and our parents are waking up to it too. And maybe not all, but no, you know, no one's, we're not all supposed to go through an awakening, you know? And everything's a spectrum, and everyone is just, you know, they are going to have their own views and their own, the only thing you can do, all I'm trying to say, sometimes I feel like my brain turns into like a cotton candy swirl. I'm like, fucking, what I was trying to say was, your only job is to hold the light. You don't have to convince anyone of anything. I went through, when I first went through my awakening, I was screaming at everyone to wake up. You know, that's usually what happens. It's like, level number 1. You're gonna scream at everybody? Is that gonna be fun? I learned very quickly just to shut the fuck up. But I didn't want to shut the fuck up because I had done that my whole life. So I was just letting it fly. And I was, you know, there was a lot of things going on in the old noodle. And none of it at the time, you know, 2 years ago, none of it sounded normal. I was screaming in a parking lot in Tennessee that they were trying to steal my blood. So if that's not a past life vision, I don't know what is. I just didn't have enough, you know, all of it had come online so quickly that I have needed, obviously, but I have needed these last couple of years to be able to look back on things and see what was coming through and what comes through now within that same kind of frequency, and you know, really walking myself through the process of, I saw what you saw, you're not crazy. And it's a lonely road, but you got to do it on your own. And you know, the less validation you seek, the more clarity will come. And if you know that, it's okay to share things, and it's okay to You know, I've really learned, like, I cannot prematurely share things with anyone. No, not a single soul gets, because I was, and I realized how much I was still doing that for external validation, and my creativity is just like went gang over the last, honestly, since I got back from Nashville and seeing Abby. Like, things are happening, obviously, but it's always this time of year for me. We are in a really big energetic push through the Lionsgate portal, and I'm just like, of course, this was exactly the time 2 years ago, and it's just, of course. Just like having, I have like data points now, right? Like, so much of me was just like trying to rush to some sort of end line of knowledge, and I'm like, you have to experience it, Holly. Like, you have to like live your life. You have to ground into this life. Because when I got out of Lindner, I was still very, very heightened. It took me very, very much at least a full year, if not more, to come down to a place that I feel grounded more than I don't now, which, like, last year I just had to like pray that I would take on a project and not go into like a spell, if you will, because I couldn't. Of course, I had grounding techniques and stuff, but like I hadn't hit integration point yet. I hadn't really integrated the lessons yet, and that's what a lot of like this winter was and springtime was, and it's just like how I see my life now on the wheel, a wheel, and like how I set up Hollyland, and just looking at how I want to set up my life as far as the natural rhythms and cycles of Mother Nature. And just being able to look back on like corporate Holly of, I just had no idea this was out there for me. So when my awakening happened and the vision came in, and I'm talking about creating this empire and and I've got scrolls of maps. Just like, I like job jackets full of all of the different parts of Hollyland. And now, the last 2 years, it's been me bringing it to life. When I got out of Lindner, I was just like expecting to like walk into what I had seen. Like, I was just gonna like walk through the door into this magical new universe. And it took me a little bit of time to be like, oh fuck, bitch, we gotta make all of this. The vision was set. You gotta put it to work. And ebbing and flowing through, struggling so much, connecting back into any sort of masculine structure, and then building just the femininity around it and the containers. And the more we have those containers set, the more it can hold, and it really, really begins to lay such a beautiful new foundation. I am so grateful that my life imploded, exploded 2 years ago. And I'm so grateful that I was diagnosed with just something that helped make my human existence thus far make a little bit more sense. Because I had just struggled so much, and so much of my life I spent thinking this cannot fucking be it. I can't go to work and hate my fucking life. And of course it's not all terrible. You find joy in the pockets and the moments, but like the overarching theme and feeling of just like, this is what I was put here to do? No. No. No, 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 no. That can't be real. And then one day, everything changed. And being bipolar has helped give me some of that structure that I so desperately was seeking. Thank you for joining me on this wide-ranging conversation down the Holly highways. As always, I'm going to give you your animal spirit for the week. You get 2. Fox and peacock. Pay attention to the colors. Pay attention to where you see them. Like someone's shirt, on the side of a bus, a billboard, literally anything. Start to see how she's communicating to you. These mean something very specific to me, but what do they mean to you? Okay, happy Moony Monday. I love you all so much. Go lightly with love.